Hey everybody, welcome to episode 31 of the Joys of Games podcast. We are recording this on Thursday, September 15th, right in the middle of the month, 2016. This is the week of PlayStation. What a week of PlayStation it has been. It's crazy how these things work out just the way we need them to. I am one of your hosts, Josh Brown. I am joined by the world's number one Cleveland Browns fan, Colin Wheeler.
Number one. They're like number one in the rankings, right?
Well, they lost pretty bad to a really bad Eagles team last week in the first game of the season, so I don't feel like us talking about the Browns for an entire podcast actually did them any good.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. They don't get any publicity otherwise, so we gave them free publicity. Because, what is it? Any publicity is good publicity, isn't that right?
That's what they say in
That's the general rule of thumb.
In journalism land.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But, I mean, they are an NFL team, and I feel like they do get a lot of publicity just for being an NFL team.
So, okay.
Regardless, we probably spoke in the most highest regard of the Cleveland Browns in the last week than any other podcast probably talking about the Cleveland Browns.
Is, what's his name? Marshall Faulk, is he on the Cleveland Browns?
No, he retired many moons ago.
Okay.
Yeah, unfortunately for you.
He
He retired from the Rams, actually.
Rams. Okay.
Formerly LA Rams, then formerly St. Louis Rams, now currently LA Rams.
Do they have dark blue and gold as their colors?
They do, yes.
Okay. I got you. I used to have a McFarlane figure of him once upon a time.
Of Marshall Faulk?
Yeah.
The man, the myth, the legend himself. So good. So good. This is not the world's number one football podcast.
I try my best, okay?
You do.
That's all I can do. I can only provide all the knowledge, all the NFL knowledge that I have. And there's just random little tidbits that they leak out like the leaky faucet. And I hope for the best.
We got Emmitt Smith. We got Marshall Faulk. We got Dan Marino. Can you name a current player?
That's where it gets complicated. I know Cam Newton.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
The only reason I know Cam Newton is because someone that I know calls him Scam Newton.
Okay.
I'm like, that's not very nice.
Well, he got paid to play college football, and that's against the rules.
Is he a real bad boy?
Well, yeah, a little bit. Can you name what team Mr. Scam Newton is on?
He's on the Panthers?
Yeah, from? Where do the Panthers play?
North Carolina.
Yeah, they're just officially called Carolina Panthers, but yes,
okay.
They do play in North Carolina.
Okay.
Not to be confused with South Carolina. The less respectable of the Carolinas.
I know.
What position does Cam Newton play?
He's a quarterback.
Ooh, okay.
I know that because I watch the Super Bowl. And I usually watch the Super Bowl every year. Usually.
Like every good American.
Yeah, I love Super Bowl parties, and not because of the actual football game.
Food, commercials.
I love cooking for people. Like that's my thing. I love cooking for parties.
Sure.
And that's the best time to cook like the worst food possible. Like it's the excuse of like me not having to cook a single healthy thing in the entire meal.
Yeah, that's fair.
And kind of get drunk in the process.
The only vegetables are celery sticks and carrot sticks to go along with the horrible Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yeah, one year I made jalapeno poppers. That was pretty good. Really difficult to make.
They definitely do not count as a vegetable at that point.
They're super complicated. Like they're not an easy, fatty, awful food to make. Because like normally awful food's pretty easy to make. Like potato skins. You got your cheese, your bacon. You just shuck the potatoes and you have the skins. Good to go.
Mm-hmm.
Wings, you just basically just cook them and then put hot sauce on them.
Yeah.
Jalapeno poppers are a lot more complicated because you have to involves freezing and like all this preparation. Just don't
my mind right now.
Just buy the frozen ones, people. I'm just telling you, just buy them. It's just too hard.
What's your so is jalapeno peppers like your go-to Super Bowl food?
No, potato skins. Like,
Okay.
the in-laws and brothers and sisters all love the potato skins, so I make those every year.
Sure. But what do you personally like to enjoy eating?
Oh,
Not making,
um,
eating.
really good like wings, I think, are my favorite. Like
Sure.
I could just eat. You know how they have those like Tyson chicken like frozen like wing bag things that you can get at
Hmm.
like grocery stores? I'll eat an entire bag of those in one sitting.
Mm.
No problem.
Bone in or bone out?
I mean, I would prefer bone out, but they don't taste the frozen ones. The frozen boneless ones don't taste very good. They're really like I don't even know how to describe it. Like slimy, I guess is the way to put it.
They're
Uh,
pretty much the equivalent of a nugget at that point.
Yeah, and it's just like I'd rather like the boneless wings at Buffalo Wild Wings. I like okay. I like them out of like all the like fast food wing places. That's my favorite,
Hmm.
even though they're not really fast food. But yeah, I'd have to go with wings. They're just really good.
I do not like wings with the bone. I think it's an unnecessary step in the grand scheme of things when you're talking about just eating really horrible food.
Hmm.
Um, I have no problem with the boneless equivalent of nugget. It's fine with me. Fun fact though about me, and this has nothing like if there's wings with bones, like I don't mind. Like I will eat them. It's not my first choice, but I'm not a monster and refuse to eat them. However, um, for about let's see here, 24 years of my life, um, I refuse to eat any meat off of a bone directly.
Oh, why?
There was something about pulling meat off of a bone that really freaked me out. And like if somebody were to do it aside and I didn't like have to see the bones, not a problem. But imagine going your whole life without ever eating ribs.
How does one get past this phobia?
I just decided to do it one day and I was like, that's not that bad.
Dude,
Yeah, weird, huh?
I'm sorry. That's a lot of your life
Now
gone. You'll
I
never get back.
know in my head I knew that every piece of meat that I was eating came from a bone, essentially.
Hmm.
There are bones holding up every piece of meat you can think of.
Right.
I understood that concept. But the process of like removing bones after it was cooked in order to eat it right there, like there was something savage and primal about it that just bothered me to the core. I would still eat the meat, I just couldn't eat meat directly from the bone. So it would have to be prepared away from me, meat removed from bone before it was on my plate or I wasn't eating it.
So how do you feel about those scenes in Walking Dead where they show zombies ripping?
Oh, see, now I have no problem with it.
Yeah, but even like let's say you know when you were 23, if you saw that, would you feel sick to your stomach or would
No,
you
no,
be
no, no,
okay
no.
because it's a movie?
It was me personally doing it. Like, if I saw somebody eating, like, say, ribs and, like, just gnawing on a chunk of meat and just ripping it right off the bone and
Yep.
getting all messy and stuff, no problem. Couldn't care less. But it was, like, the act of myself doing it just bothered me.
I could just imagine you with just like the proper setting where you're not one of those people that like eats like a pig at the rib place. You actually take it and delicately shave off the meat and eat it with a fork. Eat it with a fork.
Pretty much, yeah. Except I even wouldn't do that because, like, because I would be a part of the process of removing it from the bone. And
Oh
that was
man.
too savage. Even if I went Hannibal Lecter style and delicately used a scalpel to remove it, and no, still couldn't do it.
Sorry, buddy. At least you're over it now.
Yeah, no,
You've seen the light.
I've enjoyed a lot of really good meat since then.
I mean, everybody likes a good meat.
That is true, my friend. Colin, this is Joys of Games.
Joys up games.
We're here to talk about video games in a positive way because not enough podcasts out there that talk about video games really seem to like video games. Have you ever noticed that?
No kidding. I mean, I kind of went on like a mini, not a rant necessarily, more so like a PSA
Uh huh.
about the podcast. So
Yep.
just saying, whoa, 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 everybody, relax. Remember that thing we all love? Video games, right? Let's not crap on each other because we have different platforms that we play on. So, alas, here we are.
Yeah, it was. Were you listening to a podcast specifically when you?
No, it's just my Twitter feed has really been nasty the past ever since the PS4 Pro got announced. It's just been really nasty.
Sure, I understand that. Yeah, I just so many podcasts and news outlets and everything are just. It seems like the only coverage of video games sometimes is the negative, like picking apart what's wrong about a video game, complaining about announcements, complaining about delays, complaining about little things that like are completely pointless. And it's just, I understand like that generates clicks, but like it's everybody's fault for being that focused on the negatives of gaming consistently, that creates sites to constantly put out that kind of content and generate more clicks. It's this vicious cycle, and we're doing very, very small part to try to break that cycle. But like, I feel like we're doing good work, because games at the end of the day are entertainment. They're fun. They're art. They're so many positive things about what a video game is that just gets lost in the shuffle on the day-to-day basis. And if we could take a little bit of time out of our busy weeks to spread some positivity towards games, that's what we're going to do.
Yeah, and there's definitely like a fine line of being critical versus being like, I don't know, toxic, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for me, when Xbox had all their missteps, I was more critical for them than I would say a lot of people that I knew. A lot of people, we either the Xbox fanboys are like, oh, I'm just going to buy into anything, whatever.
Right.
Same with Nintendo. When they announced the Wii U, if you go back in my Twitter feed like forever ago, I thought the Wii U was a joke. I'm like, this is the most ridiculous thing. How could they present it this way? But I did find value in that.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just because I'm passionate about it. But there's a way to have opinions and critically express opinions without being hurtful, or which is the worst part of the whole situation is people are doing personal attacks against people, even against corporations, which isn't fair.
Right.
Like, if you have an opinion, take a step back, take a deep breath if you're mad about something, and then critically tell them, hey, I don't like this for X reasons, but not making it seem like it is like you're so entitled that you should have it your way or the highway type of thing.
I mean, didn't EA win worst company of the year for like 2 straight years?
Yeah.
In the entire world. It's worst company. That's the most asinine thing I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, absolutely. You have banks like Bank of America that just treats their customers like dog crap, and you have an entertainment company, EA, who produced Mass Effect 3, which people didn't like the ending, so they voted them the worst company.
There are companies literally stealing billions of dollars on a daily basis that are just like, out of sight, out of mind.
They didn't make the worst ending of Mass Effect, so obviously they're not as
bad. Goodness gracious.
I don't even know what to do with that, so.
Video games, man. Video games. Speaking of video games, we need to start the show, as we always do, by going backwards in our timeline, and going back a few years, just a couple, to talk about a game of the past that we enjoyed for whatever reason. And this week is the week of PlayStation, as I alluded to earlier. We are going all the way back to the days of the PlayStation 1. Do you remember the PlayStation 1, Colin?
PSX.
Yeah. Was that a system your grandparents told you about when you were a kid?
Back in my day. Yeah, that was totally it. No.
Can you confirm or deny that your first system was a PS3?
I can deny that.
Adamantly?
Yes, adamantly. You know what's funny is when we did our panel the Periscope chat or
Hmm.
whatever.
Yeah.
Sharon watched the panel and she texted me immediately. She said, "Someone said you look 17." I'm like, "What? Who said I look 17?" And she's like, "Are you sure they're talking about me?" Uh, and she's like, she basically said, "Colin looks 17." I'm like, "Man, all right."
Even with the beard, it doesn't help.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I thought Jason looked younger than me.
You're one step away from just wearing a trench coat and hat and somebody thinking that you're standing on somebody else's shoulders.
Oh, dude, can I do that anyway?
You probably could.
No, when I do shave, I 100% look like I'm under 18 years old. So,
Hmm. Is that the sole purpose for the beard?
yeah, it's also laziness too.
Hmm.
Little bit of both.
That just comes with the territory of having facial hair.
Yep.
We're gonna go back to the days of the PlayStation 1. You're gonna have to fill me in as to what year this came out, but we're going to talk about a little game, a little obscure game. Many people may not know about, may not have heard about, may not have played, probably didn't play. I was actually worried for a little bit that I might have been the only person on the planet to have played this game. But I did notice that it cracked a lot of like top 50 PlayStation 1 games, and not just like 49 or 50, but like in the teens and 20s. So there is some appreciation for this game, which made me excited to talk about it. We are going to talk about Intelligent Qube.
IQ.
Did you ever play
Puzzle.
this game, Colin?
I've never played this game. I've never even heard of this game. You texted me up, and I'm like, I'm sorry, what is that? I thought it like auto corrected, because autocorrect has a mind of its own. Honestly.
Sure.
Um.
You're like, he spelled it with a Q. That's weird.
Yeah. Well, I keep spelling tomorrow, and it keeps doing toe. It goes to, and then it does mo, and then it says reason. To mo
Okay.
reason.
Sure.
Sure, that's
That,
pretty dang close
yeah.
to tomorrow.
Almost nailed it. Almost nailed it there,
Yeah,
autocorrect.
good job, Siri.
Maybe you just need to learn how to spell.
Maybe I just need to learn how to like text slower and actually read it before I send it.
Nah, it's asking too much.
But honestly, I like annoying my friends, so
Mm.
you especially.
Voice to text, that's the worst culprit of autocorrecting.
I seriously want to start a Twitter account where I just do voice to text and then just like let it go and see what happens.
Yeah, I like that. So, Intelligent Qube, tell me about this game.
This is according to Wikipedia, because like I said, not familiar. IQ, or Intelligent Qube, is a puzzle game for PlayStation. In the game, the player controls a character who must run around a platform made of cubes, clearing certain cubes as they approach. Cubes are cleared by marking a spot on the stage, waiting for the cube to roll on top of it, and then deactivating the marked spot. And then it goes on to say, the game was well received by critics, the game performed well commercially in Japan, and even won an excellent award for interactive art at the 1997 Japan Media Arts Festival.
Mm.
Looks like a couple sequels were developed, but only released in Japan and Europe. Looks like it was released in North America September 30th, 1997.
97. That's a good year.
Coming up on an anniversary here.
Could we get a remastered version for the PS4? Huh?
Probably not.
Probably not. No, probably not.
Probably not.
So Intelligent Qube. It's an award-winning game. One of the finest puzzle games of the PS1. You know, if you remember those type of games, of course. So I made you watch a video on YouTube so you could like better understand what this game was, because the description, it's a little vague. It leaves some room for the imagination to fill in some gaps that probably shouldn't be filled in.
Yep.
So you watched a YouTube video of Intelligent Qube in action.
Right.
What do you think of it?
It's interesting. So, looking at it just on basically without playing it, it's basically like having a black void. Okay, sorry. Let me restart. Okay, so it's basically this little tiny man on what looks like a giant elongated Rubik's Cube, and on the sides of the Rubik's Cube is just black. It's just total blackness.
Yep.
Like if you were to fall off, I'm assuming you die in the game. I don't really know.
Yes, it's just an empty void of space and death.
Beautiful. It's a metaphor in life, honestly.
Pretty much, yeah. It's this is, I think, the prequel to Limbo.
It's a weird looking at it. It kind of reminds me of what is that one game where you click on the different bombs, like little circles?
Man.
No, you click on the little circles on the computer, and there's a bomb somewhere, and then you hit it. That's what it reminded me of for some reason. Like if the little guy goes to the wrong square, it's just gonna all blow up.
Sure.
I don't know if that's actually true, but going off the 30-second YouTube video that I watched, it's pretty much the truth. So
you're more concerned about getting smashed by the cubes than you are getting blown up.
I see.
Yes. So every puzzle, like there's several different waves, and like a group of blocks starts rotating one side at a time. They go the entire length of the puzzle. So if the puzzle is like 8 blocks wide, then there will be like 2 rows of 8 blocks or whatever the case is. And they just start falling over face forward and start rolling one after another towards you. You're the little guy, and basically you need to destroy the cubes so that they don't destroy you. So you plant little bombs on the ground for them to roll over, then you detonate them, or you could plant the bombs on the special green cubes, because those are radioactive, and those will blow up, and they have like a radius of explosion, so it's not just one cube at a time, but it'll take out like 4 or 6 cubes or whatever it is. So you're just basically trying to blow up all the cubes that can be destructed before they essentially fall off the end of the puzzle into limbo. There will be black cubes that come along with the waves of cubes, and those cannot be destroyed, and you're supposed to just let those pass, which also makes it complicated, because since you can't destroy them, you have to be conscious of the fact that they can still destroy you. So there's like that whole meta game going on. But essentially you're just trying to clear cubes off of the plane surface until you reach the end of the plane surface, and then that level will be over, and you'll get dropped down into another puzzle and start the whole process over again. Speed picks up. The cube layout becomes a little bit more complicated as you go, but it's really the speed that you got to look out for, because once they start coming at you really fast, you're making split-second decisions. It's trying to figure out which cubes to detonate to do the most damage, and et cetera, et cetera. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a weird thing to see. Like, I guess it's not weird in the sense that the gameplay is strange. It's more so like a game like this would have been a $50+ game when it came out. versus like now this would be like a $5 iPhone game or something along those lines. And that really speaks to the PlayStation 1 in particular as a system because they had such random like small experiences that I think a lot of developers up until then were making cartridges for Nintendo and Sega,
Right.
and those are really expensive. So with the CD format, they were able to take greater risks. So if they sold less copies of a weird game, they still could make a profit because the discs were so cheap to manufacture.
Mm-hmm.
But this game, I mean, it looks really cool. Like I
Yeah.
would love to play this on like any kind of portable device. I don't know if I'd want to play this necessarily on my home console because it just seems like it's so well suited for a phone or
Sure.
DS or Vita in that case.
Yeah. I mean, but back then, I mean, you didn't have those options, you
Right, that
know?
wasn't the option, and
Yeah.
that's the puzzle games.
And I,
That's how it went.
and it has a great soundtrack. We'll put some music in the show, as we always do. But like I remember just playing that game for hours, just mellowing out and like putting on a CD and like listening to other music and just kind of just letting my mind concentrate on what was going on within the game. But like not having to worry about keeping up with a story or that kind of stuff. It was just flat out straight up puzzles and I first heard about the game from one of those PlayStation magazines with the demo discs in them.
Yeah, I was about to bring that up. That's
Yeah,
what doing a little bit of research. Apparently, it's how a lot of people discovered that game.
yeah,
Demo
um,
discs.
yeah. I remember playing. I was like, oh my god, this is fun, and like it lets you play like just a couple levels, but it was just enough of a hit to be like, I get how this is played. I could get behind what the puzzles are trying to do here because there's nothing worse about a puzzle game than puzzles that just aren't fun to solve.
Hmm.
You know, um, what's up, witness?
What?
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. There's some puzzles that are
Are you
not
talking
fun to
about the
solve.
best game this year?
There are some puzzles that aren't fun to solve in that game.
They're not fun to solve, but when you solve them,
Yeah,
oof,
no. I'm not.
that
Not.
feels real good.
That's true. It's very true. Um, but that requires a lot of focus and a lot of thinking. Whereas this is just like reactionary thinking, and yeah, I just it was one of like the first games I ever bought for myself. That I paid for with my own money, and I never regretted the purchase. Like, it wasn't a game that like when my friends came over, like we could ever play together. It was just like a solo. I need to relax and just like get away from the outside world for a little bit, and I'm just gonna focus on these puzzles. So super fun, man.
Yeah, sounds like it.
Yeah, it would be so good on mobile.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the like resurgence of these old IP games that just kind of went to the wayside and then being ported to mobile because honestly, I don't think it would be that expensive or that difficult to do that. So,
Right. Indeedy. So yeah, Intelligent Qube. That's a thing.
real quick,
Yeah.
so we're already more than halfway through the year.
Yep.
If you had to rank three of your top games of 2016 so far, what would they be?
Oh man, why would you do this to me? Um, I'd have to pull up a list.
For me, The Witness is number one.
Mm.
Inside is number two.
The first 80% of Inside.
I love the whole thing,
You're
which
so weird.
I've talked about many
I
times.
know. I know.
I love the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and then my third one, I gravitate towards Uncharted, but I don't know if it was unique enough to call it like one of my favorite games. Like it was really fun playing through it, but the last third of the game, I was very much like, I just kind of want this to end.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess the first two are definitely high up there.
Hmm. Man, I wish I remembered games as well as you. Try to do some quick research here.
Was Rocket League this year or was that last year?
Last year.
Okay. That was up there for last year then.
Game Informer. Best thing they're good at is this yearly list of video game releases. Um, boy, oh boy, where do you even start?
Where to begin?
Um, Gone Home, does that count?
I mean, not really.
But I wanted to.
That's a good one too. I played it for the first time.
Yeah.
Really good.
Resident Evil 4 remake.
Yeah, right.
No. Man, I don't. Man, The Witness was in January.
Yep.
It feels like so long ago.
Yep.
I don't know. I could spend all day reading through this list, Colin.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to put you on the spot.
No, it's yeah, it's hmm. Hmm.
Mm.
There's been a lot of good games.
Dude, I forgot Far Cry Primal came out this year too.
Oh yeah, I had a
You
lot
really,
of fun with that.
you really like that
I
one.
did. Um, Doom. Doom's up there.
Yeah, Doom's a good one.
Uncharted 4. I probably
I
should
really
finish.
like. Oh, you know what? I take back Uncharted. Overwatch is my number 3.
Have you been playing Overwatch?
Yeah.
I don't feel like we've talked about it at all.
Yeah,
Like
I've been.
on the podcast or like outside of the podcast. At any point, have we ever talked about Overwatch?
Yeah, I don't. It just never really. I don't know. It never really came up like in conversation. I guess naturally.
Hmm.
But now, since it's naturally come up in conversation,
We could save it for next week during our etc. episode.
we could.
Yeah.
Perfect PC segment.
Hmm. Overwatch.
Overwatch.
That's the thing.
Real
Man.
good. It's a real good game.
Real good.
I'll leave that there.
Star Fox came out this year.
Oh yeah, that must have been one of your top favorites.
The Slippy and Grippy show.
Slippy and Grippy show.
How bad is it that a pack-in game that they give away for free is better than the $60 game you're actually paying for? That Star Fox. Da-da-da.
What is going on? Nintendo, please. NX, come on. NX gonna give it to you.
Anyway, current news. Do we have some news to talk about?
Oh yes. Oh yes. We do. We do. We have hardware announcements. Oddly enough.
Hmm.
So, PlayStation.
It's a weird time of the year for hardware announcements.
Sure. But, game companies are doing their own thing now lately.
That's true.
Nintendo's releasing their console in almost 6 months from now. We still have no idea what it is. Sony announced the PlayStation 4 Slim retails at $299, so it's $100 less than the PS4 prior. Slimmed down version looks like a sandwich instead of a rectangle.
Mm-hmm.
And then they announced their PS4 Pro, which has made a lot of the grossness of the internet happening lately against Microsoft fanboys and Sony fanboys.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you and I watched the press conference.
Mm-hmm. Here's the thing. I'm
Yep.
just going to say this right now.
Yep.
It was not an exciting press conference.
No.
It was not an E3 sizzle reel that just got everybody on the edge of their seat for 45 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Their biggest problem, though, was 2 hours before then, Miyamoto and Bill Trinen came on stage at the Apple press conference and announced a Mario game on iPhone and set the bar so high that no matter what Sony came out with, even if they changed the entire how the presentation went down, which they were calling the PlayStation meeting, So right off the bat, like their terminology probably should have been an indication that this was going to be less hype and more just, hey, we're talking to you. But I'm sorry, they had no chance of, doing any better than Miyamoto walking on stage at an Apple press conference.
I really do wonder if, because it was basically like last minute them saying that they were going to stream it live, this event.
Yeah.
And I wonder if they just didn't want to do that because I just don't feel like this event in particular made sense to stream live.
Sure. And they even said that. They acknowledged that.
At the same time, though, like it's good that they showed it because people were eagerly awaiting what the PS4 Pro is. And basically, the PS4 Pro is twice as powerful as the PlayStation Vanilla, or whatever you want to call it, the regular PS4. And it is meant for the people that have 4K televisions. So it basically has a boosted GPU, which increases the display of it to upscaled 4K. So it's not native 4K. Um, it's just such a strange. The strangest thing I have about the PS4 Pro, like the price point's great, $399, perfect, twice as powerful PS4, perfect. What's weird is it doesn't have a 4K Blu-ray player,
Mm-hmm.
which is Sony's own technology
Right.
that Microsoft licensed every single Xbox One S to have.
Sure.
So I'm confused who this is for because
It.
eventually all the 4K stuff will be streaming,
Mm-hmm.
but a lot of places have a hard time streaming in 1080p.
Yeah.
Like they don't even broadcast television in 1080p, full 1080p. It's like a up-res version of it.
Maybe they just didn't. Somebody made the conscious decision of it not being worth the added cost to add it into the system, and maybe they looked at the numbers and said, digital or like physical media is slowing down. The rise of digital media is increasing, and by the time the market gets to where, the switch from Blu-ray to 4K Blu-ray is happening like on full swing, people aren't going to be buying the physical discs anymore and just downloading them as 4K, downloads essentially. So that might have had some thought. Like that still seems like
Sure.
it's several years out.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's the confusing thing. Like when the PS5 comes out, I don't expect the PS5 or the Xbox whatever to have any optical drives. I think those will be gone. It'll be digital only systems, and that's how it's going to be.
So maybe they're just like starting, the transition and getting people used to that.
Maybe, but at the same time, they're calling it this PS4 Pro. So this is supposed to be for the people, the hardest of hardcore people.
Right.
And for me, like I'm an AV enthusiast. Like I like Blu-ray quality movies. Like that's what I go for when I have an option to download something digitally or watch it on Blu-ray. Blu-ray is going to be better because it's uncompressed. So the PS4 Pro is supposed to be for those that are like the hardest of hardcore. So like I honestly don't feel like the cost would be that much more to add a 4K player, but then again, I don't really know.
Right.
I just look at Microsoft doing it and them not doing it is the weirdest thing. Because if Microsoft hadn't done it at all,
Sure.
it would have been like, yeah, neither one of them want to pony up the money for this drive.
Right.
So I don't know. It's very strange.
Yeah. It's strange indeed. I just like from my perspective, this machine isn't for me in the first place, but like I'm of the mindset of I have to believe that there are smarter people out there making decisions financially for specific reasons that we, the general public, may not fully understand or want to accept.
Absolutely.
But they are definitely intentional decisions. They didn't just be like, oh crap, we totally forgot to put 4K Blu-ray drives in all these machines that we just had manufactured. Somebody forgot to check that box on the product shipping list, It was very intentional for whatever reasons. Like if it was solely just to keep the price of the console down to $399, right? That's what it is.
Yeah, it's 400.
Yeah. Yep. If it was just to keep it at that price, then fine, cool. Yeah. Because I feel like any other price I think was probably going to be too high.
Well, here's the thing too. Like they're very smart with the PS4 Pro because the PS4 Pro has a 1 terabyte hard drive. Yep. So like if I had not, if I didn't, well, yeah, definitely not. Please give us external hard drives, please. I don't want to put an internal in. Please, just let us have external hard drives. Anyway,
I've been talking about doing it for 3 years, Colin, and I have yet to do it.
I digress. If I didn't have a PS4, and I'm like, you know what, it's time to get a PS4. Go to the store, look at my options. I have the slim PS4, which is a 500 gigabyte hard drive for $299, or the PS Pro, which is twice as powerful as the PS4 and has a terabyte hard drive. I'm gonna get the one that's $100 more. I mean, I do it with my cell phone every single time I get an upgrade. Sure. I always pay the $100 more to get the 32 or the 64 gigabyte, depending on the model.
Yep.
So that's super smart. But with the added bonus of more power, even better.
Yeah.
Even if I don't have a 4K television, this is actually a really good value as for the people that don't have PS4s. I'm not sure it's worth upgrading for people that already have them.
Nope.
Like I don't see that being a value unless maybe the VR experiences look significantly better because I played PSVR at PAX, and while it was really fun, and I'm not like a graphics like crazy person or anything like that, but it definitely looked like the graphics were very choppy,
Sure.
almost like Wii era style graphics, just because the computing power on the PS4 is just not comparable to what computers need to power like the Oculus or something like that.
There's a reason why they were insisting that your computer have specific specs for running Oculus and Vive before buying those machines.
Right. So if the PS4 Pro can improve the visuals on PSVR, that's really cool too.
Yeah.
But that's another thing that was really bizarre about this conference is I don't really feel like they showed the value for people that have 1080p systems and what it would do for PSVR. And I know they didn't want to do mixed messaging, but Mark Cerny was up there saying, "Oh, this will also help with people that have 1080p TVs." And then he went on to talk about HDR, which was high dynamic range, which actually improves the color palette of basically any like image, which is really cool, but 1080p TVs don't have that.
Right.
So it's just kind of like all over the place. Honestly, I really felt like this was Microsoft announcing the Xbox One originally, where they're like, we don't really know what's going on, but this is pretty cool. But I will say they executed really well on the price point
Mm-hmm.
and what the features are included with that price point.
Right.
That's the one highlight, the one positive thing I'll give to this.
Yeah.
And beyond that, it's just kind of a strange conference in general.
Sure. And going back to like who this was for, like that's like been the biggest talking point I think is people constantly saying, well, "Who is this for?" Because this isn't for me, and blah blah blah. Who would they be marketing this for? I'll tell you who this is for. This is for people that don't currently have a PS4 for whatever reason, but have been thinking about it, or just haven't decided to get one yet, or whatever the reasons are. Like this will be an easy sell. You know, you buy the lesser one or you buy the better one, that $100 price point. You know, as long as money, you know, that $100, if that's not breaking the bank, then the pro version is going to be the one people will pick up if they're buying it for the first time. Secondly, this is for people that have like just recently bought 4K TVs or have plans on picking up 4K TV, like specifically around the holiday season. Because last time I checked, around Christmas time is probably the biggest selling time for TVs next to probably the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah, Black Friday deals, all that stuff.
So I have a feeling that 4K TVs are going to be selling quite a bit in the upcoming months. So I don't think it's aimed specifically for people to upgrade their PS4s just for the sake of it, but it will give owners of 4K TVs a little bit more validation if they do choose to upgrade to the PS4 Pro as to their purchase of the 4K TV.
Yeah.
And like, you don't just have to buy it straight up because you could always sell your PS4 back to GameStop or sell it on Craigslist or eBay, or like you could recoup some of the money you have from your current PS4. It's not like these are just completely going to lose all face value.
Right, and that's also another thing. That's one of the things I love about this generation in particular is I've already had one PS4 die on me, but since I have cloud saves on all my game saves and all my digital games are attached to my profile, like I had no problem just loading it up on the new PlayStation and then just downloading all my saves. It was amazing. I was like, wow, this is stupid easy. Thank you for having that feature.
Right.
And both consoles do that. It's so nice. Except for Nintendo. Come on.
Not yet.
Real quick though.
Yes.
Do you think Nintendo is going to announce the NX to undercut the PS4 Pro?
What do you mean?
Because think about it. So for me, I budget out big purchases. Like if I were to get a PS4 Pro, I would have to budget out that big purchase, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'd say a lot of people go through the same situation. If Nintendo announces their NX and they're like, this is when it's coming out, this is going to be the price point, I would save my money for that instead of buying the PS4 Pro.
It's a good question. I don't it's hard to say that Nintendo really even considers Sony and Microsoft competition at all. Like, I feel like they are so in their own bubble. I mean, I know it's like video games, right? Like,
Yeah.
like of course, like Sony and Microsoft are competition to Nintendo, but I honestly just feel like Nintendo Nintendo's biggest competition is themselves. Like a year ago, I would have said Nintendo's biggest competition is smartphones and Apple, but now they're in bed with Apple, so I feel like that competition is kind of wiped off the board. Nintendo's only competition is with themselves. Like I don't think they will look at the PS4 Pro or Xbox One S or Scorpio or anything like that and try to coordinate what they're doing with the NX to try to counteract anything that those two companies are doing. I really don't. I feel like Nintendo just marches to the beat of their own drum, and they are perfectly happy with that.
I mean, I don't disagree with you, but I feel like they've been making a lot of really smart business decisions since oh my gosh, is it Kimishima? Is that his name?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Since he's taken over.
Right.
So I could see them announcing this just a couple weeks before the PS Pro actually gets released, and then people, if it is truly that handheld hybrid experience, and it basically is everything that we want it to be, which usually that never happens with consoles, but hypothetically speaking, it is. I feel like a lot of people might hold off because it's only a couple more months after that.
Right.
And they get a brand new console versus the PS4 Pro just gives you a different kind of experience for your existing console.
Yeah, I mean, the people that are interested in the Nintendo NX are going to be interested regardless of the PS4 Pro. Like, I just don't think, like, I don't think there is that big of an overlap of people saying, oh, I really want the PS4 Pro, but the Nintendo NX is coming out. Like, I just...
Maybe I'm just an outlier then.
Maybe, yeah. Because, I mean, you have a PS4, you have an Xbox One, you really want the Xbox, or the NX. I mean, I know you've talked about, like, wanting to possibly upgrade to the PS4 Pro, or you at least were before we knew what it was. I don't know if you're still...
No, after this announcement, definitely not.
Yeah.
I mean, I would consider maybe... also, like, I'm always open-minded. Like, when if the Scorpio gets announced and it has something that I see value in, maybe I'll purchase that. I do want to get a PSVR, but at the same time, it's like, if Nintendo is coming out with their console in the next 6 months, I'd rather save up for that than PSVR.
Yeah.
That's another example.
Right. Totally.
So,
but
I'm
I
just
mean,
curious what's going to happen with that.
The gaming market space is so wide open that I think gone are the days of most gamers having only one console.
Right.
You know, it just doesn't, at least from the people I know, from the people I talk to, from the people I listen to on podcasts, from you know, most of the community, it seems like most households are multi-console households.
Yeah.
So, I mean, even if it's as simple as like a 3DS and a PS4 or something like that, like, yeah, it's the only, I think like the biggest group of gamers that are solitary one console are the PC players.
Yeah, I mean, I have friends who they primarily play on PC, but one of my friends in particular, like, he is all about the best gaming experience, and a lot of times console ports are significantly better. So he has a PS4 for games like Batman and for games like Dark Souls and for games like No Man's Sky, where the PC ports are just broken when they're released. Even though he'd probably rather play on the PC, he's a smart guy about being like, you know, I don't care if the graphics aren't as good as in the console. Whatever runs better, that's where I'm going to play it at. And that's how I game as well. I'm the same way. So, but I agree with you. Like, a lot of PC people are just like, PC Master Race.
Yeah.
Or nothing.
And, I mean, when you're running the system that has the best graphics and the I mean, theoretically, the cheapest ecosystem to be a part of, thanks to Steam and
100%.
like
That's not theory.
why
That's 100%.
why would you be a console gamer if like you were dedicated to that? Like I get it. So, yeah, I don't know. I think the general video game press and media, I think, just overhyped Neo, or PS4 Pro as we know it now, and I think all of that buildup that was solely from the press and the media, because I mean Sony has talked about it once, and that was to say it's not going to be at E3. Like that was their official, yes, we have it, yes, we're not going to talk about it E3, let's move on. Like, other than that, like, Sony hasn't been hyping this up at all. So I think, like, people's sheer disappointment has been because all we've heard from video game outlets for the last, 5 months has been Neo, PlayStation Neo. It's just, we're victims of our own hype in this case.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like I like leaks because they're exciting, but like this kind of leak I feel like was more damaging, and I feel like the NX leaks are being damaging for Nintendo as well. I hate to keep bringing them back up into a PlayStation episode, but man,
yeah, it's just it's.
I just want to know what's going on.
Don't we all, Colin?
I just want to know.
Maybe Kevin Prero knows.
Tell me. Yeah.
The internet's darling.
The NX is turning into Half-Life 3, honestly.
At least when it comes out, it'll be good.
PSVR.
Yeah.
It's coming with a demo disc.
Yeah. Like 16 demos on it or something like that. 16 or 20 or something.
This is the smartest thing.
So good.
Smartest thing that they could possibly do. Because we were just talking about this last episode, that demos just are so far and few between, and virtual reality is so new and so different that having a bunch of bite-sized experiences to really get the full depth of what this thing is perfect, not only for the person that purchases it, but for the person that lets their friends try it, and their friends are like, oh, I get it, and I want to get one too.
Right.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it's I don't know where PSVR stands. I don't know what the excitement level is like overall. I mean, this thing releases in less than a month. Like I don't know. I think it's going to be a slow burn. Oculus and Vive came out and they weren't the meteoric splashes that people kind of thought they were going to be when they released. Like they came out and people were like, oh yeah, they're out, and lots of people are enjoying them, but
such a niche thing.
It hasn't completely taken over video games. So I think PSVR is going to be the same thing. It's going to come out, people are going to own them, people are going to talk about them on podcasts, they'll talk about it with their friends, they'll show their friends, they'll show their family, and they'll slowly start picking up steam. I don't think they're going to sell gangbusters in this holiday season. I think, once more games come out and we start seeing the different support of games that will, also be able to do something cool in VR as well, it'll be a slow transition, but it will happen. I don't think VR is going to be, Wonder Book or anything like that. But yeah, demo disc. I mean, that's the perfect thing. 100%. That's here's my. Why do they need to put it on a disc though? Like you would think that the PlayStation Store you'd be able to just get demos. Maybe they don't want people to download demos that don't have VR, I guess.
Yeah, maybe they're concerned about the confusion.
Yeah.
That's what I think it is. And honestly, it's once you load that disc, it's gonna have to download your hard drive anyway, so you're basically downloading it anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think this is really smart. The one thing I'll say about PSVR is you're saying you don't know how successful it's going to be. It's got to have that killer app. Like once that hits,
Yeah.
it's it'll sell consoles. The bummer thing about it is I'm pretty sure Hello Games is working on a PSVR uh, mode, which has been hinted at multiple times, but I think it might be too little, too late for that one.
Right.
Which I still would love to play that. That'd be
Sure.
amazing. But who knows?
PSVR, man. Are you getting it? You're not sure.
Not at launch.
Okay.
Definitely not at launch. Yeah, I just need the software to be there. I really want to play Psychonauts VR,
Mm-hmm.
but I have a feeling that experience is probably going to be maybe like 2 hours tops, and I don't want to spend $400 for a 2 hour game.
Right. I get it.
So,
But you could also be Batman.
yeah, Batman for half an hour.
I mean, it's better than being Batman for 0 hours.
I'm always Batman. What are you talking about?
Are you?
You ever seen me and Batman in the same room? Exactly.
Now that I think about it, makes sense.
Exactly.
Makes sense. Speaking of things that we love,
Mm-hmm.
should probably talk about a video game.
We
It
should.
came out fairly recently.
Yes.
Um,
Controversial, as it were.
It's a very yeah, it's full of talking points. Some people love it, some people hate it. Some people are okay with its existence and don't have a comment either way. But it's just one of those games that is something fun to talk about, and we've been waiting to talk about it on this podcast for probably since we started this podcast. I think we circled our calendars and we're like, that's going to be PlayStation Week. Needs to happen. So we've had time to digest it, to play it, to get into it. And that game is, of course, No Man's Sky.
Yeah.
So tell me, Colin, why do you love this game?
Oh man, this game is just a technical feat. Like it's so incredible that they were able to make this game. And there was a lot of hype building this game that people were saying this is going to be the end all be all game, the forever game, or whatever. And I never took it at that. I always took it at the face value, the way it was described, the way it was presented. And basically, you are some kind of space person, and you just crash land on a planet, and it's a random planet every time. So you would have a different experience. Everybody listening at home would have a different experience. The planets are all different. Either be frozen, maybe they're very like tundra, maybe they're underwater. It just kind of depends on the planet that you land on.
Mm-hmm.
And it's basically just like pure exploration. Like you can do things, you can mine materials and to upgrade your ship and to upgrade your suit, or you can just walk around aimlessly looking at everything.
Right.
It's a beautiful game too. Not to mention, every environment looks different. At least the environments I encountered look very different. Some of them have similarities. Some of them are just so way out there. Like there was a creature that looked like the giant. I don't know what those things are called from War of the Worlds. The giant like sentinel things that walking around. There was one of those. What's that?
Do they have a name?
I think they do. I never read the book.
I'm not down with the War of the Worlds lore.
But there was like a squid thing that kind of looked like that, mixed with like a Cthulhu, and then there was like a super derpy dinosaur, which was also hilarious just to see them just look like he's just having a hard time just walking forward. I honestly think in his head he's just like, kill me, kill me. But yeah, it when I say it's a technical feat, it's just incredible that like it's all procedurally generated. Right. Once you finally get your warp drive and go to another galaxy, all those planets are procedurally generated, and they're whole planets. Like this isn't just like in Mass Effect where there's a straight line, maybe a cross occasionally of a planet that you can go to. You can literally go in a giant circle through a planet. And there's actually a guy that just recently had a YouTube video where they showed him do an entire loop across the planet, and that's nuts. That's even possible.
Right.
Man, I don't know. Like it's just there's so much mystery to it too, and I have the same feeling that I had with Minecraft, where it's just like they don't really give you any direction. You just kind of decide what you want to do. You decide when you want to start, when you want to stop, what you want to work towards. Like for me, I just made up my own objective. My own
Mhm.
objective is to upgrade my inventory because the inventory system at first is very annoying because you fill up so quickly on everything. So every planet that I go to, I do two things. I look for the pods that have the things to upgrade my inventory, and two, I look for gold spires because I can sell the gold to upgrade my ship and everything else.
I love finding gold.
Yeah, it's
I feel
so,
like it's probably
dude.
way more common than I feel like it is.
Oh, so
But I
satisfying.
feel like such a boss. Like when I come across like this giant chunk of gold, I'm like, that's all mine.
Not to mention, like I spend like 20 minutes just mining this giant gold spire. Like, and then I'm like, huh, 20 minutes went by. Whatever. And then I another thing I really love is flying above the atmosphere because that's the thing is I thought with the ship I didn't think it was going to be interactive at all. I thought it was just going to be once you go up to space you can do dogfights in space, but then everything else is like self automated. No, you can go up like on the atmosphere and just float around and you can actually look down and see, oh, does that look like gold? Okay, I'll go down there. It's really really cool. I love this game.
Yeah. It's pretty. Um like you said, the creatures are strange and bizarre, and there are planets that are not super pretty. You know, they don't look fantastic. And then you come across ones that are just full of color and full of life, and you're like, this is incredible, and I never want to leave this planet. And then you're just like, yeah, I kind of do. I want to see what else is out there.
What else is there? That's exactly it. That's
Yeah.
that's another weird balance of that game. It's like, do I explore this planet further to see what's here, or do I move on? Because I have, 15 quadrillion or whatever they say planets to explore. It's just nuts. Absolutely nuts.
Yeah. Is this a game you see yourself playing? Like how have you played this game so far? Are you playing in large chunks? Are you playing little bits and pieces at a time? Is this going to be a game that you will just randomly just start up and play for a half hour every once in a while and get back
That's
in?
that's
Or
100% what that's going to be. I don't see myself like sitting down and playing this for 8 hours straight. I could see this is like the perfect chill game, the absolute perfect chill game. Like I'm listening to a podcast, but I want to do something else as well. Throw on No Man's Sky. It's a really just like there's really no stress involved in the game. Yeah, you can attack the Sentinels, and sometimes they get a little crazy. It's kind of funny that they have like a GTA system with these robot Sentinels and how angry they get and attack you. But as long as you don't attack them, they typically won't attack you. At least from my experience so far, from my understanding later in the game, you will land on planets where they're hostile towards anything that moves. But yeah, I definitely see myself going back to it in like maybe hour spurts here and there.
right.
How about you?
Yeah, about that. Like it's something that I think I need to be in a mood for, and that mood is I want to just kind of turn off my brain,
Right.
which is really hard for me because I have a lot of things going on. I am constantly thinking about stuff nonstop, and sometimes like I'll just want to watch some really stupid movie on Netflix that I have no interest in, but it's just something that is some sort of visual stimulation that allows me to not think about anything else going on. Kind of like how I played Intelligent Qube as a kid. Um, and that's kind of the mindset I need to be in to really enjoy No Man's Sky. From what I've noticed, if there's stuff going on in the house, or I'm busy, or I'm stressed, or I should be doing something else, but I want to play video games for a little bit, I don't seem to enjoy No Man's Sky as much as I'd like to. But the times when I've sat down, when it's quiet, when I could like put on a podcast or put on some sort of music of my own liking, or maybe a second screen experience with like my iPad or my laptop, and pull up like maybe I don't know, old wrestling, which I watch way too often. NWO for life.
Wolfpack?
Only. It's those moments where it's just the solidarity within the game needs to reflect me feeling wanting to feel isolated physically and personally, when I could just like get into a little bubble of me time and enjoy it. And then I could go into space and just, you know, go as long as I possibly can handle. But when there's other stuff going on, like, it's definitely not the game that I ever am quick to pick up and start playing.
Gotcha.
Even though, like, it feels like it would be the good game to relieve the stress of something that's going on, you know? But I need to go into the game already de-stressed, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I without, you know, a narrative that I'm chasing, and there is little bits and pieces of story elements, whatever, but it's not like Uncharted 4, where I didn't finish Uncharted 4, and I'm very afraid to go back to Uncharted 4 because I remember where I was in the story, but I'm afraid that I have lost something in the story with time being passed. Whereas
Right.
with No Man's Sky, I feel like any point I decide to pick it up, I'm not racking my brain to figure out where I was or what I was doing, because I could just go and do whatever else I want. It's completely open to me to decide how to play.
Right.
So,
It's crazy, man.
yeah.
It's just such a like. I really hope that this algorithm or this type of engine is utilized for maybe a more focused game. Like, I look at this as a gaming achievement, maybe not necessarily like the best game ever, and it's definitely not like Minecraft, because Minecraft, I feel, is a little bit more of like, I build stuff, I explore things, I build stuff, I explore things. Like, the point of Minecraft is to craft stuff, right? This is more so just to explore everything. But I would like to see this procedure generated worlds with a narrative that's a little bit more, I guess, designed.
Right.
So, but that's, that's a different game altogether. So, like, it just excites me that this technology exists, and just how incredible it works. Like, it actually works, and how incredible this game actually is on a technical level. So kudos to Hello Games, Sean Murray. Fantastic game.
Yes. Also, unfortunately, I think it suffered from overhype.
Yep.
No fault to... I mean, if you want to place fault on Sony and, you know, the development team, that's on you. But I feel like people got way too excited for this game without ever knowing what it was.
Or not listening to what it was.
Yeah, so...
I'm still kind of like confused how people's expectations just got so out of proportion. Like, I don't understand it, but
yeah.
No
Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky?
Let us know what you think of No Man's Sky. Have you been playing it? Are you enjoying it? Do you plan on picking it up? Are you going to play it on your PS4 Pro? Is it going to get patched and have PSVR? Because 100% that game is built for VR.
Yeah.
Yeah. Make it happen, folks. Make it happen. Let us know. Tweet at us. Email us. joysofgames@gmail.com. Colin, if people already have No Man's Sky and they're looking for something else to play.
Yep.
They're gearing up for some games before PSVR comes out. The last hurrah before the PSVR era begins.
Yes.
What games could people be looking forward to?
Well, we have Destiny: The Rise of Iron expansion. That's coming out September 20th.
I heard that's a game.
It's going to be real good. I'm very excited about this. With that, there is the Destiny, the collection, which has the core game, all the DLCs, as well as Rise of Iron, coming out the same day. NBA 2K17 is technically coming out on Tuesday, but then they're doing this weird marketing thing where if you pre-order it, you get it on Friday, even though if you don't pre-order it, you can still get it on Friday. So technically you can get it if you're listening to it now, I guess. I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know why they do these things. Because they did this with the last World of Warcraft expansion, and they did this with Overwatch, and they did this with Call of Duty. There was like a day early, you could get it, like a day zero edition, but then everybody could get it even if they didn't pre-order it. So,
Right.
whatever. NBA 2K, nope, just said that. FIFA 17 is coming out September 27th. So if you're a big old soccer fan or football fan or whatever you want to call it fan, that's there for you.
Whatever you call it, fan. Quidditch?
If that's a Quidditch fan, well,
Yeah.
well, sure. Yeah. No. Maybe. XCOM 2 is coming out the same day. That was originally a PC game, exclusive to PC. Now it's coming to both consoles, which is exciting for XCOM fans, RTS fans. There's not a lot of RTSs. Actually, I can't think of any RTSs that are on this generation console. Halo Wars was the only one. Well, no, there's a Lord of the Rings one too in the 360 era, but Halo Wars is back compat, I guess, with Xbox One. But an actual next gen RTS, I think this is the first one.
Yeah.
Maybe Tropico. Are those RTSs?
Sure?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's-
We'll
okay.
say it is. Yeah. 100%.
All right.
Confirmed.
All right.
Statboy just checked and yes.
Rise of the Tomb Raider finally coming to PS4. Are you going to replay this?
Absolutely. I am so excited.
That's another cool, like how many features they're adding to the PS4 and the Xbox Anniversary editions of this game. It's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I want to try that PSVR experience for that too.
Yeah. I want to walk around Laura's apartment.
Laura.
This is in the UK.
Lara Croft. WWE 2K17 also coming out October 11th for all those wrestling fans out there. I heard there's a couple people that like that.
I've heard of some people that like wrestling. I mean, if it's not NWO, I don't know why you're watching anything else. But...
Honestly, that's my point of view. Here's the weird one. You ready for this?
I'm so ready.
PSVR is coming out October 13th. Now, it's not weird that it's coming out in October. It's weird that it's coming out October 13th. Because guess what day of the week October 13th is?
I'm going to say it has to be a Tuesday, because why would anything else come out on a Tuesday unless it was a Nintendo product, which would come out Friday, or if it was a Toys to Life release, which would come out on a Sunday.
Right. You would think that.
Yeah.
No, it's coming out on a Thursday.
Thursday, huh?
A Thursday.
I'm sorry, did you say Tuesday?
No, it's the other T day. Thursday.
Tuesday.
I don't even understand. I legitimately do not understand.
Thursday, huh?
Thursday.
I mean, if someone was sitting there saying, what comes out today? The answer would be PlayStation VR and everything that has to do with PlayStation VR. They're going to own that day.
Yeah, that's true.
I wonder if there's if that is a legitimate statistical reason why they chose that day, or if they just threw a dart at a dartboard and that they hit that date.
Could not tell you. The only thing I can think of is maybe they're doing a worldwide release, and in Japan it would technically be Friday. That's the only thing I can think of.
Sure.
Regardless, really weird. I don't think I've ever seen a Thursday release for anything ever.
Just the Nintendo eShop.
Once again, never seen it ever.
Oh, PlayStation, you're so funny. We checked on 4 different websites to confirm that is the 13th.
Yep.
I don't get it.
Yep. No idea. And
hardware would usually come out on a Friday, right? Didn't Xbox One and the PS4 both come out on Fridays?
I think they... Well,
Because
Yeah,
I
I
want to
think
say
that.
like I spent all weekend with both of them. A weekend afterwards.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
because
I
I
took
remember.
off Fridays and I had Friday, Saturday,
Yeah,
Sunday.
I remember because I bought a Link to the or Link Between Worlds, the XL 3DS bundle, and the Xbox One on the same day,
Hmm.
and they only release those on Friday, so Nintendo does. So yeah. And Skylanders Imaginators.
Hey, I've heard of that game.
Yeah, it's coming out October 16th. Be sure to get the Crash edition because that's the only edition you should get
Hmm. The
for PS
only,
for PS4 fans.
the only,
Honestly, like looking at all the editions, I'm like, yep, that is the one that I would get.
the Dark Edition for collectors, us collectors out there that like to collect them all.
That's true.
Good thing is there's only 3 editions. There's the regular starter pack, there's the Dark Edition starter pack, and then there's the Crash Edition.
Let me back this up. Let me back this up.
3 is better than 7 from last year.
The best edition is the Crash edition.
Oh, well, duh.
Yeah.
Because it has Crash and Dr. Neo Cortex.
Yeah, that's so cool. So cool.
Yeah.
And they look so good in action. Like I was watching gameplay, I was like, oh boy. It's like they actually care about these characters or something. And the fact that I can have Spyro and Crash Bandicoot in the same game playing together, whew,
Mind blown.
dude. I'm hoping next year they do a Sly Cooper. How cool would that be?
I just want a new Sly Cooper game. Like, I don't
Yeah.
feel like that franchise is done.
No, it's not, but I still wouldn't that be cool though? I just want all the classic PlayStation characters. Like, can I just get Ratchet and Clank and can I get
Or would you rather have Banjo Kazooie in next year's Skylanders?
like Microsoft gets the exclusive?
Yeah.
Holy crap, that'd be
I
amazing.
mean, we saw Donkey Kong and Bowser last year.
Yeah,
Dr. Neo Cortex and
I would
Crash in
much
this one.
Yeah, I'd much rather have that because I love Banjo Kazooie.
Yeah.
Banjo Kazooie is one of my all-time favorite games. So
Just saying.
you got these good ideas. That was one of my predictions, but didn't happen.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a lot of games, man. Like, game season is here, and that's just the second week in October.
Yeah.
But the lucky thing is, luckily, if you have PS Plus, there's a bunch of free games you can get right now. Like right meow.
Like, right meow?
Right meow.
Like, I just turn on my PS4 and boom, there they are.
Right. Well, not, I mean, download for free, yeah, but they're not going to be there.
Also,
You got to download them first.
there's several menu things that you need to figure out to get to them.
At least it's easier than the Xbox's menus.
I still haven't figured that out. That's why I don't use my Xbox, because I don't know how to use it.
They updated it too, so now
Doesn't make me feel better about it.
at the top of the screen is where my games are, and I'm so used to being on the bottom of the screen because that's where it was. So I'm like constantly looking for it. I'm like, where are my games? Where are my games? And then I scroll up. I'm like, oh, why? Like, it makes sense for it to be up there because that's what I use the most. But at the same time, I'm used to it being down there. I don't like change. I don't like change.
Me neither, Colin.
Free games. Lords of the Fallen on PS4. That is a Viking Dark Souls-esque game.
Did you ever play it?
No. Sitting on my Xbox One hard drive,
Oh,
and
okay.
it is now not sitting on my PlayStation hard drive because I don't have enough room, but it's in my profile, so I can download it anytime I want.
How about that?
One of the best games ever made, a part of our bucket list as well, is Journey.
Knack.
Podcast over. I'm out.
Hey, this is the PlayStation Week. I have the ability to talk about Knack as much as I want.
I thought this was the Ouya week.
That's next week.
Okay.
It's written into my contract that on PlayStation Weeks, I can talk about Knack without fear of judgment or ridicule.
Knick-knack, paddywhack. Give a talk about.
If you want to borrow Knack, you could borrow it anytime.
Let me tell you about a real good game that everyone should play. And please, for the love of God, download this game if you've not played it. Journey. Changed my perspective of video games playing this game. Like, absolutely changed how I look at games, how I analyze games, and what games can be. Like, it was... That experience that I had with that game just changed me as like it's weird to say, and I don't mean it like in a like cheesy way, but it really did change me as a person and the way that I look at this hobby.
Right.
It's that influential and that important to me. So please download this game and play it.
Please, please, please.
Please. It's free.
You really have no excuse.
Just do it.
2 hours of your time.
Yep.
That will change your life forever. Forever.
Ever. Prince of Persia: The Forgotten Sands on PS3, which, if I remember correctly, was not such a great spin-off. But hey, it's free.
Could be worse.
Yep. Datura for PS3 as well. Not a clue.
That game sounds really familiar, and I'm not visualizing it at the moment.
We also have Bad Land for the PS Vita, PS4, and PS3. So that is a cross-play game.
I played that on iPad first.
Datura?
No.
Badland.
Badland.
What is Badland?
It's one of those games that's really hard to explain.
Okay.
Datura is not the game I was thinking of.
All right.
So, hey, it looks fun. Looks like a survival horror-ish,
Oh, okay.
maybe? But first person?
Speaking of which, speaking of survival horror, yeah, pretty much.
Survive the horror of
I can't understate. That's how true that is. Do you see that they're updating the Resident Evil 7 demo?
I did hear that.
That's exciting.
Did you finish the demo?
No, I didn't even play it. I'm totally gonna play it now, though.
I started it and got creeped out, and I was like, I'll come back to this in a little bit. And
What's
I never
up
did.
What's up with developers, Japanese developers updating their demos? Because Final Fantasy did that, where they had the
Yeah.
episode desk queue, and then they updated it to fix bugs in the demo. It's a demo. We get it. We get that it's gonna have bugs. And then this one they're updating too. I think I'm wondering it's because the perception of the first demo was not real positive. If they're like, oh crap, we need to release a better version of what our vision is to get people on board. So I'm excited to try this one. The last game on the list is Amnesia Memories for PS Vita. Not a clue what that game is either. I forgot. I have amnesia.
You took my joke. I was waiting on podcast to do it, and I hesitated, and I left the door wide open, and you swooped in and stole it.
Right, you got to get in there, man. You got to be fast. You got to be like Sonic fast. Speaking of Sonic, that Sonic Mania Collector's Edition is so freaking cool. As a Sonic statue on a Genesis, like a model Genesis, and it comes with a cartridge, and it comes with a ring. Holy cow, it's so cool.
You know, I would totally get it if I was a fan of Sonic.
Dude, the first couple Sonic games are great.
Yeah, but I just don't need nostalgia collector stuff for Sonic.
I love that stuff so much. I love nostalgia stuff. And after reading Console Wars and playing my Game Gear that I got, like, I'm really getting that Sega bug to have a good Sonic game. I really like Sonic Adventure as well. Really liked it. It's a really bad game, but I really love it, despite all of its problems. Anyway, that Sonic Mania is not a free game. Just go pre-order it.
$20? Or is it gonna be full retail?
No, it's full. I think the download is $20, but the retail collector's edition is like, I think it's like $50 for the collector's edition. So you're paying $30 for the extra doodads.
Oh, okay. That's not bad.
Yeah. And if you have Amazon Prime, you get 20% off, so it's good.
Hey.
Good value.
What's up?
Good value.
Middle of September. Tons of games.
Yeah, holy crap.
So this is just the start.
Yeah.
Madden broke the seal. It's the floodgates are open, Colin.
Yep.
I've been playing Pac-Man Championship Edition 2 the last 2 days. I downloaded it yesterday. I've already put 7 or 8 hours into it.
Excellent.
Just
excellent.
on lunch breaks and a few hours after work yesterday and today. Can't stop playing it, but I'm going to stop playing it. Do you know why?
Why?
Because I got a mail delivery today
Oh.
from Amazon.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You want to know what was in that delivery?
What?
BioShock collection.
Oh, snap.
Yeah.
Yep. Now I see why you want to stop.
Mm-hmm. Can't wait, man. And we have Resident Evil 5 to start co-oping on a stream, so that's
Yep.
gonna be something.
Yep. We do have that. Hopefully the control's better than 4.
You're telling me, man.
Are you going to be Chris? Or do you want to be, what's her face?
Shiva?
Yes. Which one do you want to be?
I'll be Shiva.
Okay.
Yeah. Chris is too bro-y for me.
He is a pretty bro.
Yeah.
Bohemian Rhapsody.
Not quite like that. That's about all I have to talk about, Colin. Oh, you want to remind people what our bucket list game is?
Yes. One of the greatest games of all time. Ocarina of Time. See what I did there? Time parallels.
I like it. I like it. You caught me off guard with it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I should have.
Go play it. Where can people play it, Colin?
It is available on the Wii. It is available on the 3DS. It is available on the Wii U. It's available on Nintendo 64. It's available on the GameCube. It's basically available on every Nintendo thing since the 64. It'll probably be available on the NX. But please don't wait that long because we want to hear what you think about it now.
Unless the NX comes out like tomorrow.
That does change things. That changes things.
I feel as a retail employee, you would probably know about something like that.
Yeah, it's definitely not coming out tomorrow. But it would be cool.
Well,
you know,
just overnighted them though. What if you got to work tomorrow and there's just pallets that just say Nintendo?
Yeah, they pull a Sega Saturn and just like kill themselves, shoot themselves in the foot.
I think Nintendo could pull it off though.
Maybe. Nah, I don't think so.
But see, when the Sega Saturn did it, they didn't have the beauty of social media and like internet to
That's true.
promote
To it. Right.
Like all it would take is one tweet from Nintendo saying NX is in stores now. Buy it for $2.99. Go.
Spreads like wildfire.
And honestly, like everybody takes a day off. The entire country would shut down.
The economy, like the stock market, just closes.
Right, and Nintendo stock is just skyrocketing through the roof. See, they could do it because of that. People would know about it instantly.
Yeah, that's true. Social media is
Sega Saturn
powerful nowadays.
I mean, you had to wait 3 months for a magazine to come out to tell you that it was out.
Right. Gosh, what a disaster, man.
They were just ahead of their time.
I mean, I honestly will say that like the Dreamcast, a lot of their consoles were just way ahead of their time, like just in power, and they just couldn't beat Nintendo. They just couldn't do it. But yeah, Ocarina of Time. Please play this. Please write in. We're hoping to do a full on like long episode just dedicated to this game because it is one of the greatest games of all time. Like I've said before, to me, to you, I'd say generally most people who have played this game already. Val, you need to play this game.
She does. Desperately. She needs to finish the game.
Yeah, she needs to
She needs to progress in the game.
Yes. Yeah. She's still stuck in Lord Jabba Jabba.
Yeah. Anyway, Colin, that's a show.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Thank you, as always, for this episode.
Yes. Thank you for having me.
Well, I mean, it's kind of our show. It's not really like you're a guest situation type of thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'll let you stay. Stick
All
around. Right. Stick around, young buck. Come back next week.
Aw.
Until then, how about you tell people where they could find you and, I don't know, shoot you some tweets about possibly how much you hate Disneyland food?
I'm at PDX_geek, and Disneyland food is cafeteria food, so take that as you will.
Did you get tweets?
I think Shopkins Inquirer tweeted at me, and I told him that he or she told me that I need to go down there and apologize to the Gumbo, and I said, hey, if you want to pay for my trip, I'll be more than happy to do that and Periscope it. So he or she's going to try to get funds together from all the different Inquirer sites to let me do that. So
yeah, which you can scrape a few pennies here and there, and before you know it, you'll be in Disneyland.
Yeah, talking
about how horrible the food is. You're a monster. You would
continue to discuss it.
Oh goodness. You can find me personally on Twitter at the Noise with a Y, of course.
Hold on, real quick. I think the reason why Jason is like I think I have a more refined palate than Jason, and that's why I didn't like the food as much as he does.
Also true. However, I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Like, okay, I enjoyed it to the point of, those nice restaurants we went to in Seattle.
Hmm.
Like, you liked it just as much as that food.
Yes,
Yes?
it's
Okay.
good food, man.
I clearly went to the wrong place then.
Yeah, I
I
think
just
so.
want to just throw that out there. If you show me or Brett shows me or somebody shows me where to eat,
Hmm.
I will go in with an open mind
We
and an
went
open
into
heart.
one restaurant at California Adventure that we felt so underdressed being in, but then we sat there and we're like, well, how else would we be dressed? Because we had to come through California Adventure to come eat here. So,
I didn't see any sit down restaurants, like
oh
none.
man, they're hiding.
They must be like
Did you go on Pirates of the Caribbean?
yes,
Okay, you know how you look over and you see all those tables and chairs?
yes.
That's a restaurant.
Is it like okay? Is it actually sit down and
Yeah,
order different meals, or is it
absolutely.
just like okay?
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't do that.
Yeah.
I would like to do that though. That seems really cool.
Mm. Where
Anyway,
did you eat specifically?
we ate at New Orleans, which actually had good. I don't know what I got. I think it was a gumbo, and we got the oh gosh, what are they called? They're like little pastries. They were the best thing I've ever like the best baked thing I've ever had in my life. They're shaped in like little Mickey Mouse's ears.
Okay.
Uh, they're just like light, fluffy like pastry that you dip in chocolate or in like this like vanilla.
Okay.
That was the best thing we had at the park the whole time. Beyond that, we went to like this breakfast place that I think is the same place where they do like the princess breakfasts, and
At
they
Disneyland or one of the
at
hotels?
at Disneyland,
Hmm.
and they served like the Mickey Mouse pancakes and like sausage and bacon. It was just all very like generic tasting food.
I have no idea where that is.
Yeah, it wasn't. It was really not good. Like it was not worth. I would rather go to IHOP across the road and get pancakes from them. Um, we also went to where else did we go? Oh man, yeah, I don't know. Those are the ones that come to mind. Well, we got a corn dog. It was burnt, so it wasn't very good. Um, and I got some fries from the corn dog place, and that was really good.
Hmm.
So,
Okay.
oh, and the Dole Whip, which is what you told me to get, was great.
Yeah, it
That's
is.
delicious. But
Yeah.
like the actual core meals, like there's bits and pieces of the meals that were really good, but like I didn't ever feel like, wow, I have to come back to this restaurant and eat here the next day. Like I just felt like, okay, well, this is food to get us going and keep going type of thing.
Sure. Did you get a churro?
No. Oh, also we went to the little burger place by the Star Wars Padawan Academy thing,
Oh, okay.
and that was kind of eh.
Yeah.
But I did get a Boba Fett.
See,
Lucky
there's
Fett.
two distinct. Okay, there's three different categories of eating at Disneyland. There's like the stands, where you get your churros or your corn dogs or your basic, handheld food equivalent of. Then there's the restaurants that are catering to the people that can't spend thousands of dollars on food the entire trip because they already did to get their whole family in the park.
Right.
So they need to offer some sort of meal to people that's not going to completely bankrupt them because they want them to buy merchandise and to keep spending money elsewhere.
Right.
And obviously the food there is not going to be as top quality as you would want. And then there's like the sit down restaurants. And the sit down restaurants, like most of them you have to make reservations for. They're not advertised greatly because they're not catering to the mass public that is there. They are catering to the people that want to sit down and have a meal, not just grab something real quick and keep going. So I feel like you probably just missed out on those because you weren't looking for them.
Yeah, I honestly did not see any of them. I take that back. There was one that I saw, but I think it was right. It was in California Metro. This actually might have been the one that you went to. There was like a door leading into like a very pink room.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the backside of the building, there was a bar.
Mm-hmm.
And at the bar, I think I ended up getting some kind of like side food thing in a really good black cider like beer thing. But that was the only quote unquote restaurant that I identified and saw. And I think, oh, you know what, we only went to California Adventure for like half a day because our flight was late. So, yeah.
Fair enough. Disneyland food, man.
Well, I don't know. Like, someone's got to show me.
Yeah.
It's like that Tarzan song. I want to know.
Maybe next year you'll decide to go to E3 with me and we could adventure down there together.
I'd love that.
Road trip.
Yep.
We're going to Periscope and the whole thing.
I'd be down for that.
Also, your wife figured out how to use Periscope when you couldn't even figure out how to use Periscope?
Well, she didn't. So I just retweeted the Periscope and she just went to my profile and played it.
Just clicked on the link.
Yeah.
Simple as that, huh?
Yeah. Anyways, you can find me at PDX_geek. I'm there. Tell me how amazing all the Disneyland food is. I'll be so intrigued. It's like that Willy Wonka meme. Tell me how incredible it is.
Please do so. You can find me again on Twitter at the Noise with a Y, of course. Please follow the show on Twitter at Joys of Games. Oh! We have a Share Your Joys.
Oh yeah. Oh man, we're so organized tonight. Holy moly.
Well, I blame the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, honestly, they're our basis of our podcast, so it makes sense.
Anything that goes wrong is probably their fault. We should probably pull this up here. Joys of Games on Twitter. On Twitter, we ask you on the Joys of Games Twitter feed at Joys of Games, of course. Every week we're going to have a hashtag Share Your Joys. We're going to ask you what games you have been enjoying for the selected console or company that we're talking about this week. This week was PlayStation. Said, what PlayStation game or games have you been enjoying lately? Big Mike responded, Horizon Zero Dawn. He played it at the GameStop Expo, which is cool.
Ooh.
I can't wait to get my hands on that game. Ben Pieface Miller at Chrysolite Stone said, Yoro no Nai Kuni on Vita, and Disney Infinity 2.0 on the PS3.
Nice.
Billy DJ Dog said, No Man's Backseat Gaming of No Man's Sky, which is a good game to just sit back and watch somebody else play.
Yeah.
Especially if you have something else going on.
Yeah.
The Black Licurio at General Zizum said Overwatch, Paragon, and Destiny.
Nice.
And Tori at Tori Roz said absolutely loved Abzu. I was a marine biology major, so I'm sure that plays into it. Tori, I have that downloaded. I don't know why I haven't got into it. It's one of those games that I know it's like a short experience that I want to savor as long as I can. And I'm definitely afraid of playing it for 2 hours, loving it, and then it being done and me wanting more. So I don't know what I'm waiting for. I just need to do it and get it over with because I know I'm going to love it because I love ocean life like so much. Like I love ocean life.
Not to mention one of the leads was one of the leads on Journey. So
exactly the lead
more
creative designer.
Yeah.
Something like that. So thank you all for responding to the Twitter poll. We put it up a little bit late, but yeah, we plan on doing that every week. So stay tuned for that. Again, follow us on Twitter at Joys of Games. You can email us anytime you like, joysofgames@gmail.com. Check out the website. I think I'm going to be putting up a review of Pac-Man Championship Edition 2 up on the website.
Excellent.
So be on the lookout for that, toysforgames.com. Then if you'd like to support us, if you want to sponsor one of these shows that we do, one of these stupid Cleveland Brown podcasts, you could do so over at Patreon, patreon.com/toysforgames. That being said, Colin, we had a jam-packed episode, a lot to talk about. I had fun. Hope you had fun too.
Oh, absolutely.
Hope the listening audience had more fun than us. But until next time, folks, play some games and enjoy them. Please, just love the games for what they are. Good night.
Good night.